Welcome to Mrs. Crussey's Chemistry Podcast. In today's episode, we will be working through a few density problems. So let's go ahead and get started on the first one. A student determines the density of manganese to be 5.54 grams per centimeter cubed. If the sample had a mass of 3.43 grams, what was the volume? So first we need to talk about units in our equation. We know that density is equal to mass over volume. Another way that we can remember this is that we love density. You see we got an m over a v there in the heart, so m over v is density. Alright, let's talk about units. So we've got three variables in this equation. We've got d, which stands for density, m for mass, and v for volume. We know that mass is measured in grams, so we're going to write a g here. We know that volume is measured in either milliliters or centimeters cubed, depending on the problem. So we can take that and we know that density then has to be either grams per milliliter or grams per centimeter cubed, depending on the problem that we're given. Okay, so let's go back to our problem and let's see what we have here. We know that this 5.54, it has grams per centimeter cubed, so that must be a density, right? So let's write a D here. And grams must be a mass, so let's write an M here. And we're looking for volume, so let's put a question mark. Okay, so now that we know what we have, let's make a list of our variables. We've got D, M, and V, density, mass, and volume. And we know that the density is equal to 5.54. So let's write that here, 5.54 grams per centimeter cubed. We know that the mass is equal to 3.43 grams. And the volume, we're not sure about. That's what we're solving for. So let's put a question mark here. All right, so we've got our variables, and now we just need to plug them into our equation. Let's move this so we can see it all. All right, so we've got D equals M over V. So we're going to plug our numbers into that equation. So we got 5.54 grams per centimeter cubed equals 3.43 grams over V. So we've got to get V by itself, but first we need to get it out of the denominator. So to do that, the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So we're going to multiply both sides by V. Okay, and we get 5.54 grams per centimeter cubed times V equals 3.43 grams. Now we want to get V by itself, and right now we're multiplying, so the opposite of that is dividing, so we're going to divide both sides now by 5.54, let's make that a 5, there we go, 4 grams per centimeter cubed. Okay, divide this side by 5.54 grams per centimeter cubed. Let's take a minute and think about our units. Our grams are going to cancel, and since we're dividing by centimeters cubed, those are going to move on up to the top. Okay, so V is going to be 3.43 divided by 5.54 centimeters cubed. And when we plug that into our calculator, we get 0.619 centimeters cubed. This is our final answer, so we're going to put it in a box. So this was problem number 1. We're going to move on now to problem number 2. Okay, problem 2 is a bit more tricky. It says that a cube 5.7 centimeters on a side has a mass of 630 grams, and we need to find the density of the cube. So if we look at our units here, we have centimeters, but that's a length, that's not a volume. And we have 630 grams, which I know is my mass, so I'm going to write an M on top. But they give us another clue here. They say that it's a cube, and we know that a cube looks like this. Let me draw a little cube here. Let's pretend all those sides are, the right length. Okay, and we know that this side is 5.7, this side is 5.7, and this side is 5.7. And we know that to find volume, we just need to take length times width times height. Remember that from math class? Okay, so length times width times height. So we've got 5.7 times 5.7 times 5.7. And we need to plug that into a calculator to see what we get. So let's plug this into a calculator. So 5.7 times 5.7, 5.7 times 5.7, and we get 185.193. So let's write that down here. Equals 1, it's an 8, 185.193. And our units here are going to be centimeters cubed because we took centimeters times centimeters times centimeters, which means we cube it. Alright, so now we're ready to make our list of our variables. So we've got density, we've got mass, and we've got volume. Okay, we're going to solve for, we're going to look for density, okay, because that's what it asks us for. So let's put a question mark here. Oops, I drew a line. Okay, so density, we get a question mark. Mass, when we looked up top, that was 630 grams. And volume we just calculated is 185.193 centimeters cubed. Alright, now all we have left to do is to plug this into our equation. So we know density equals mass over volume. So density equals 630 grams divided by 185.193. Let's put the 1 there. 193. Let's draw our decimal a little darker since you can't quite see it. 193 centimeter cubed. Alright. So now all we have to do is plug this into our calculator and we get 3.4 grams per centimeter cubed. We'll put this in a box so that your teacher can find the answer. And we are all done with problem number 2. And now we're ready for our last example. So the density of a gas is 0.0043 grams per centimeter cubed. Find the mass of 280 centimeters cubed of this gas. Okay, so let's look and see what we've got. Up here at the top they gave us 0.0043 grams per centimeter cubed, that's a density, and 280 centimeters cubed is a volume, and it's asking us to find mass. So let's make our list. We've got D, density, we've got M for mass, and we've got V for volume. And we know that our density is 0.0043 grams per centimeter cubed. I didn't write the grams per centimeter cubed, we'll do it in a second. 280 centimeters cubed down here. And let's go back up at the top and put our units back on. So 0.0043 grams per centimeter cubed. And now we need to plug this into our equation. So we know that density equals mass over volume. So we've got 0.0043 grams per centimeter cubed equals M over 280 centimeters cubed. And we can get M by itself if we multiply both sides by 280 centimeters cubed. I'm just going to cram this over here. 280 centimeters cubed. Multiply this side by 280 centimeters cubed. Cut it off a little bit, but we'll be okay. So our mass is going to be equal to, well, we've got to cancel the centimeters cubed out. And we see that we're left with grams, which is good because those are the units that we should have for mass. So now we just need to plug it into our calculator and we get 1.2 grams. So this is our final answer. We're going to put a smiley face by that and we are all done. We've done 3 density problems. So let's recap real quick. We know that density is equal to mass over volume. We know that density is measured in either grams per milliliter or grams per centimeter cubed. We've got mass, which is represented by an M, which is measured in grams. And finally, we've got volume. And volume is going to be measured in milliliters or centimeters cubed. So centimeters cubed or milliliters. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped you with your density problem.